Hi, future Marcy here. Just been working on editing my very first video. Want to go ahead and apologize. Have no idea how much I repeat myself until watching these videos back, so gonna apologize ahead of time. This is my very first video on my Abundant Season YouTube channel. Want to welcome you to all things natural living. My Facebook page is called The Abundant Season Apothecary, but I do want to clarify that we're going to do all kinds of things other than just herbal medicine. We're going to do gardening and canning and preserving all the things that come out of the garden, seed starting, you name it, but also with a heavy emphasis on using those plants for our health and to get away from the pharmaceutical aisle and more into the natural things that God gave us to use for our health. So that's kind of my purpose in this channel. My heart is a teacher, and so that's what I want to do. I just want to instruct people on how to do this. But every time I post something, I get people asking, hey, do you have that for sale? Can I get some of that from you? And I do have now set up where I am going to be selling my herbal teas, salves, body butters, tinctures, ear oil, maybe some fire cider. I've made an herb salt that I have lots of extra. I'd be happy to sell that. So we'll see how it goes, and you just let me know. I've had a lot of interest in that kind of thing. So if you want to reach out and ask, we'll see what I have available. And if I don't have it, then I'll try to see if I can get it for you. But just wanted, my goal here was just to clarify my very first video. So I'll give a little grace. It is rough, and hopefully we'll improve as time goes on. Thanks. We're gonna make some Mullein cough syrup and some elderberry syrup. I'm gonna start by getting the elderberry syrup going. We're gonna use 2 cups of water. We're gonna get that warm and put in 1/3 cup of dried elderberries. I source my elderberries. They are dried. If you're using fresh, you wanna use about 1 cup. But for dried, only about 1/3 cup because they're a lot more concentrated. They don't have the water content when they're dried, so you need less. And add to that 1/3 cup of elderberry, 2 cups of water. We're gonna add 2 or 3 cinnamon sticks. And then 5 or 6 cloves. It just gives it a really good flavor. And that's it. If I had some fresh ginger, I would grate a little ginger and put just a little bit, a couple tablespoons of ginger in here as well. Out of ginger right now. I'm picking it up Friday for my As Your Standard order, but right now I don't have ginger. So we're just gonna let this come to a simmer, and then simmer for about 20 minutes, and then we'll get back to that. In the meantime, we're also gonna make Mullein cough syrup. And all we need for that are 2 cups of water. And I will say the water that I use is filtered. It's not straight from the tap. We have an Alexa Pure, it's kind of like a Berkey filter that sits on the countertop. But anyway, you want filter. I don't use water from the tap. I don't want all those chemicals. So we filter it. 2 cups of filtered water. And then I'm going to use 1/2 cup of Mullein leaf. Now, this is Mullein leaf. This is different. You may have seen me harvesting some Mullein flower earlier this spring. Mullein flower has a different property. Same plant, but the Mullein leaf is what you want to use for cough and congestion. The Mullein flower is better for ear pain relief and that kind of thing, and we're making an oil with that. But this is Mullein leaf. It's different than Mullein flower. You want to use about 1/2 cup of dried Mullein leaf. And just put that in your 2 cups of water and also bring that to a simmer. So we'll come back when all this is done simmering and talk about what we do next. So I want to pop on and show you our Mullein. We brought it to a boil and then took it off the heat, and we're going to cover it and let it steep for 20 minutes. This is our elderberry that's still simmering. We're gonna let it continue doing that for about 20 more minutes. And then we're probably gonna cover and let that sit for about another 10 as well. So this is what we got going so far. We'll come back and show you how to strain it out and make it into a syrup. Okay, so we're gonna finish up this Mullein cough syrup. I've had my Mullein steeping for 20 minutes, a little bit more. And in the meantime, I filled up my quart jar with a cup of honey. So I am going to strain. I'm using just a funnel and this is actually a stainless steel coffee filter, but it's just a very fine mesh. And so I'm gonna stick that in there to capture all of the mullein leaves. Mullein also has some really fine hairs that can be, irritating. Wouldn't be great in a cough syrup. So we're just gonna pour all of this into our funnel. Get all that out of there. You wanna make sure you get it all out because we're gonna squeeze it to make sure we get all the goodness out. Just gonna give it a squeeze, get it all. And actually this mullein is getting almost dry. So you can see we've gotten all the goodness out, and you can see we've got, just now we're gonna use the warm mullein water. Stir that up to make our syrup. So we're just gonna, whoops, that's not gonna work. Give it a stir. So let's use this. Stir it up. We could also put a lid on it, shake it. Stir it into a syrup. Then you can store it in the fridge for up to 6 months. It'll be good. So we probably got enough here to share with family. It makes, goodness, almost a whole quart of mullein syrup. So this is great for cough, congestion, any kind of tickle in your throat, anything like that. This mullein syrup will be great for that. And then we're gonna let our elderberry steep just a little bit longer, and we'll come back and make that syrup. So now we're ready to do the elderberry. I've done exactly the same thing. As a matter of fact, I bottled up my mullein syrup into this cool little bottle here. So I'm reusing my quart jar. I'm gonna do the same thing with my funnel and my mesh sieve. And we're gonna pour in the elderberry concoction over that honey. Want to get all that good stuff out. We'll do the same thing that we did with the mullein. We will strain it all out, squeeze it out, get all the goodness out of those elderberries. Okay. Pop out the cinnamon sticks. Now elderberry will stain, so just keep that in mind with your countertops and your dish towels and all that good stuff. So I'll strain all this out. Now this is a yummy one. This is a good one to take daily for immune boosting. It's also good if you're coming down with something to up that intake. Couple tablespoons several times a day if you're feeling sick. If you're not, if you're just using it preventatively, 1 or 2 tablespoons a day is good. But this is great to have on hand year round if something comes up. But I like to use it in the winter, during cold and flu season, quite often. And now that Ted's sick, I probably will take a couple doses of this a day myself just to kind of prevent myself from coming down with anything. So this time, we're just gonna try shaking it up. We've got the honey on the bottom and our warm elderberry concoction on top. It's gonna melt all that honey and turn it into a syrup. This also can stay in the fridge at least 6 months, just until your honey starts molding. I hate to say that, but honestly, that's really the indication that it's time to make a new batch. Most of the time, ours does not last that long anyway, so it's kind of hard to say how long it will last, because ours never lasts long enough to find out. So we're gonna just use our funnel, fill up this really cool stopper top jar, and now we have elderberry syrup for a little while. Okay, so we have a cough syrup and an immunity syrup and a completely destroyed kitchen. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.